The Tennessee Titans right guard situation is getting a little frisky, and I'm here to break down for y'all who I think is the best candidate and will give us the best chance to keep Will Levis protected. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Titans Rundown. I am your host, Mikey McCamey, and then last episode, we talked about the 17-game schedule and who I think we're going to be at our ceiling, and if we play at our best level that we could play, and I think our record is going to be if we play to that ceiling. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the situation. Who is going to be the right guard for the Tennessee Titans next year? There are three candidates, and I'm going to tell you which ones I think are best and which ones are worst. And obviously, I'll get to the worst, and I'll get to the best. I think y'all can tell by the thumbnail who's going to be the best, but I hope that y'all will be able to stick around at least to see why I think that he is the best. Okay, so before I get into today's episode, though, I am proud to announce in the off season, obviously it's boring, it's lame, I can't really do as much content because there's such a silent period of time where I can't really discuss that much, So now I am going to be releasing the Titans Rundown on Wednesday, but I will be releasing a YouTube video on Friday. Yes, this is YouTube exclusive. Anyone that listens over podcasting, this is not going to be for you unless you go check out my YouTube channel. I will be releasing a video every Friday that will probably not be, specifically about the Titans. It'll be more about the NFL. Like, on Wednesday, the Titans Rundown is still coming out. I just want to let that be known. But on Fridays, I'm going to be doing videos like, head coaching rankings, quarterback rankings, best wide receiver in the NFL, that type of stuff. So I just wanted to let y'all know that I am going to try to do that from now on, so that way, content doesn't get too dry during the off season, and y'all can at least watch something that's not as boring. Okay, so now we get into today's episode. The right guard battle. This is something that is a little bit controversial right now. Like, I feel like that everybody is on a specific side. Like, yeah, we want to take a shot on the unproven and Saahdiq Charles, or, we want to go with the favorite in Dillon Radunz, or we want to go with the one that's the most safe and proven, Daniel Brunskill. But I am here to tell you who I think is going to be the best. But I gotta go through the other two that I think, and why they would be capable starters. Starting out, in last place, I have Saahdiq Charles. If I'm being honest, this one is by a wide margin. So, I'll give them this much. Bill Callahan wanted this guy. He wanted to go out and get him, and he wanted to develop him. So, we've got to think about that. If Bill Callahan wanted this dude, then he sees something in him that clearly we don't. And Bill Callahan knows a lot more about offensive line and coaching than you and I will ever know. Alright? I know that some people will tell me in my comment section, Bill Callahan's not a wizard. Well, he's the closest thing that we have had to a wizard in a very long time, alright? If I'm being honest, I really don't get the hype around this dude, though. Like, I think that it was very obvious. I think Bill Callahan brought this dude in as to, because he's really young, too. So I think that he brought him in to, develop, help him learn, other blocking techniques, and maybe he'll start later on down the road. But he did start last year, and last year he was not that great. If we're being completely honest, he was actually pretty bad. I believe they allowed 4 sacks in 11 games or something like that. So, it's not the best sign in the world. Especially considering the fact that he was probably a big reason why Sam Howell had 0 blocking last year. Let's be real. He's not that great. Not yet. He could be. But he's not that great just yet. Again, like I said, has insane through-the-roof potential, but he just needs to get it before I can say that I'm confident in this team starting Saahdiq Charles. Moving on, we got number 2. That would be Daniel Brunskill. This one is the proven one. This dude, we know what he is. We've seen him play before, and we know how good he can be, and we know how bad he can be. All right? So, he started most of last year, which, by the terms of this list, he probably has the most experience out of all these dudes. He's been in the NFL for a while now. He has the experience that these two don't, especially with starting. And here's the thing. It's a little bit of a red flag because he got benched for performance reasons. And don't let PFF fool you. This guy, he deserved to be benched, quite honestly. Like, PFF is a good, resourceful thing, but like Brian Callahan said on Bussin' with the Boys, he doesn't really use it that much because it's not like a ride or die type of thing. Like, sometimes someone will have a bad PFF grade because they're doing what's right for the system and sacrificing that for the team itself. So, like I said, the PFF grade does not matter. And Daniel Brunskill, he did allow like only 2 sacks last year, but he wasn't really that great in the run blocking game. So, and obviously, you know, he needs to be better about that, especially with 2 amazing running backs back there. So, I just wanted to put that out there. Daniel Brunskill is my number 2, mostly just because he is the most proven. Like, that's the only reason that he's not under Saahdiq Charles. And why he is under, obviously, y'all know who number 1 is. It's Dillon Radunz. So I'm not going to try and, you know, be like, ooh, I wonder who number 1 is. Could it be Jaelyn Duncan? No, it's Dillon Radunz. By far, too. But he's under Dillon Radunz because I think Dillon Radunz has some proof of what he could be, but he also has more potential than Daniel Brunskill has. And, like, we need somebody on that right, because, like, here's the thing, this is about the right side in general. The right side is a little weird and unproven. Like, the left side we're good with, right? Like, you know, Latham, we're not expecting him to be like, you know, a Tristan Wirfs right out the gate. Like, only allow 1 sack and make sure that the quarterback is 100% protected. Like, we're not expecting that. But we are expecting something better than we've gotten over the last 2 years. Like, we're not expecting him to be Jaelyn Duncan. We're not expecting him to be Andre Dillard. We're not expecting him to be Dennis Daly. Good gosh, that guy was terrible. Anyway, at football, right? I'm sure he's a fine person. So, let's talk about this. You know, like, the left side's fine, you know, like I said about Latham, you know, raw, but he's probably going to be better than some of the dudes that we've had. And Skronsky is very good. Like, he is a very solid, consistent dude, and I am 100% all in on the Skronsky hype train. He's gotten bigger, and he has a good offensive line coach. So, you know, like, I don't think there's that much to worry about him there. And then I am not worried a little bit about Lloyd Cushenberry. He is going to be the best offensive lineman on this line. If he's the one that's going to be the best as of now, as we can tell. But the right side, you know, there's not that much battles going on right now. Like, you know, right tackle has Nicholas Petit-Frere and Leroy Wilson. My bad for mispronouncing his name a couple of times. I always gotta be like, Leroy, you know, because Leroy Jenkins. But, you know, like, that's going on. And then we've also got the right guard now. Whoever the right guard is really got to step up. And here's the thing. If Dillon Radunz and Saahdiq Charles still look great whenever the season comes along, we have to start Daniel Brunskill because he's solid, he's proven, and he is going to at least be a little bit better than those two. All right, number 1. I think that this one was obvious. He was my thumbnail. He was everything that I had, you know, led up to. This is Dillon Radunz. Now, Dylan Radins is a very interesting case because you'll run across the Titans fan base and you'll be like, so, like, are we supposed to love this guy or are we supposed to absolutely hate him? Here's the thing. I like him, I don't love him, but I don't hate him either. So, he is what I would call somebody that has been kind of destroyed by the offensive line coaching in the Vrabel era. He started at right tackle last year, and he was okay. You know, he showed flashes. Didn't really do too horrible against T.J. Watt. Like, he wasn't great, don't get me wrong, but he held his own. Like, it wasn't as horrible as we were expecting it to be. And he has not, here's the thing that's most scary about him, he has not been solidified into one position, all right? He has not had the stability of being able to play right tackle, of being just a right guard for his whole career. Like, he has had to rotate around the O-line. He's had to be like, okay, now I'm going to go play left guard. Okay, now I'll go play right tackle. Okay, now I'll go play center? I don't know. I don't think he ever played center, but that's just an example, you know? He finally gets to be like, okay, I'm settled in. I get to play right guard. I just need to focus on being a good right guard. So that's some of the things that people have talked about, but the big negative is that he hasn't really been like that great. He's struggled with penalties, which can really drag down this O-line if he doesn't get that fixed, but I think Bill Callahan will scream that out of him, so you know, I think that's obvious enough, but I think that he also sometimes struggles with, you know, run blocking, you know, stuff like that, so you know, he's not that great. He hasn't played that great, but I think that also has to do with the fact that he's been shuffling around a bunch of positions, and you know, he's finally solidified in something. So that makes me excited for that. But the biggest positive is that I don't know if y'all have seen him. He put on some pounds in the offseason. Like, it was wild seeing him at training camp. I was just like, that is not the same man. Like, people keep on talking about Skoronski putting on pounds. Nobody's talking about how many pounds Radins put on. Like, they both look jacked. And if pictures were like, you know, the basis of what makes a good left and right guard, then these two would be locking down that offensive line for the next decade. But obviously, we got to see Dylan Radins actually block before he can say, you know, he's going to be solidifying the O-line for the next 5 years. Anyway, that's the end of the ranking. I know that there are probably people that think that someone is better than someone, and if y'all want to tell me how wrong I am, go ahead. Go into the comment section. Let me know, like, oh yeah, I think that Brunskill should be that because of this, or I think that Sadiq Charles should start for some reason because of this. I'm messing around, Sadiq fans. All right, I know that you'll probably have good reason to back your boys. So, anyway. One more thing before I go, though. J.C. Latham haters, y'all look silly. Like, y'all look dumb right now. Everybody was saying, oh, he didn't athletically test at the combine. That means he's going to suck. But here's the thing that y'all don't realize. He became he didn't test athletically at the combine because he was dealing with a minor injury. So, let's keep that in mind. But, like, we've heard all these stories, like Brian Callahan went on to Bessin with the Boys and said that he apparently stayed out until like 6 p.m. just working on Botha, trying to figure out how to block that thing after his first practice. Like, he was putting in that work. And then he was forced out of the rain by Graham Carson. Like, he is passionate about this. And I am completely confident that within 2 years from now, he will be the guy on the offensive line, and he and Skoronski will walk down that left side for the next decade. Anyway, that's the episode. So, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me if I was good. Tell me if I was bad. Tell me what y'all think about the right guard situation, and if y'all think J.C. Latham is going to have a breakout year. But anyway, I also have Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok all under the Titans Rundown. So if y'all want to go check those out, do that on your own will. Anyway, that's going to do it all for me. This has been a rundown of your Tennessee Titans. I love y'all, and tighten up.